Hello, hello everybody. I forgot to flip my camera around. Oh no, there we go. Okay, here we go. It is Chrissy Hannes coming to you live again in the Global Inspiration Stamp Team. I am here to do my presentation this time instead of just welcoming you guys to the group. Got to readjust my camera a little bit because I had it the other way this morning. Okay, I think that looks good. All right, so let me just pull myself up here so that I can see comments, see if anybody's watching. All right, so I am here today to show you the Relaxing Waterside. It is a bundle. However, today I am just going to use the stamp set, okay? But it does come as a bundle. It's got stamp sets and dies. The dies cut out this chair here, but then you can also build the chair different ways. It's got the bird, it's got the cattails, the bird. This cuts out this. So it does come as a bundle, but I am only going to show you the stamp set today. This can be in our new catalog. This bundle can be found on page 40. It's the Relaxing Waterside bundle. It gives a couple sample how they used it. The other things I wanted to highlight that I'm using in my presentation for you guys today is on page 67. I am using the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. I am going to watercolor, so you really do need to use the paper for that. It doesn't really work on regular paper. And then I'm also going to use the Stampin' Positioner, which can be found on page 75. So the Relaxing Waterside bundle, it does come as a suite, I think. Does it? I didn't buy the suite though, so I can't, yeah. Waterside Retreat. It does come as an entire suite that includes designer series paper, these little anchor trinkets. However, I'm only using the stamp set today. I don't have the entire suite of products. I really just wanted the bundle because I really love these Adirondack chairs. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for joining. All right. So to get started, I'm going to bring in my watercolor paper. This is cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I need to bring in some scratch paper to watercolor on so that I don't make my desk a mess. I'm just going to bring in some copy paper from my printer because it was handy. All right, so Fluid 100 watercolor paper. And I'll show you the ink. The inks that we're going to use are Melon Mambo, Timid Tiger, Crushed Curry, and Old Olive. Okay. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open, I'm going to squeeze my ink pad. And I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to do this with all 4 of them. So yes, I'm going to have 4 ink pads open at one time. That may terrify some of you. I just stuck my hand in ink.
Silly.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, Kennedy's behind me. If you don't have the pressure to squeeze, you can also just put some ink on a block and watercolor that way too. Okay, so there's my colors. But I'm also going to bring in my re-inkers for each of these, and I'm going to put a drop in each one. And that's just because I want the color to be rich. So I got Melon Mambo. Hi Marge, hi Rosalind, thanks for joining me today. I got Timid Tiger. I got Crushed Curry. Crushed Curry didn't want to drip out of there. and I have Old Olive. I'm just going to put 1 drop in each one. Like that. Okay. And then I have 2 dishes of water sitting next to me, one that'll stay clean and one that I'll dirty up when I do my brushes. Now this is not a Stampin' Up! Paintbrush. This is one of Kennedy's paintbrushes actually. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that clean water and I'm going to wet my paper.
I'll let her have it.
You let me have it?
Yeah.
Did you even know I had it? All right, so there's my nice wet paper. Now I'm going to bring in my brush.
I know I messed up. Made a hole in the paper.
I don't have water in the actual brush itself because I just use a dish. And I'm going to start with my darkest color, which is my Melon Mambo. And you want to put this on kind of heavy and kind of thick because it's going to dry lighter. Okay? And there's no right or wrong method to watercoloring. All right, I think that looks like a good start. Get all the pink out of my brush over here in my little water cup. Then I have a little towel that I can dab it on. All right, now we're coming in with the Timid Tiger. Timid Tiger.
I'm looking on the computer, Mom.
Then you want to come in kind of heavy because it's going to dry lighter. Okay. Get the orange out of my brush. And we'll come in with some crushed curry. And it's okay if the colors overlap a little bit because you want to blend them in. And then we'll finish up with Old Olive. Old Olive. So for those of you that may be new here, Kennedy is homeschooled.
Yes.
And we officially have finished our first year of homeschool together. We participated. We participated in a co-op. All right, so there's our beautiful landscape sunset. Okay.
I'm doing steps.
If you want, you can come back and you can add more color if you want to. Now this does take time to dry, okay? So you can't stamp on this right away because obviously it is wet because we painted.
Yeah.
All right, so give me just a second. I'm going to clear this water out of here. Set it down here on the floor. Don't walk over here, okay, sis? There's water on the floor. Okay. And I'm done with my ink pads, so I can close them up. Now is what I like to do is the ones that are extremely wet, I just bring in tissue. This is a roll of toilet paper. And I just kind of clean out my base of my pad like that. And now we can close all of these up. I don't need that, do I? Okay, and get them out of the way. There's that. There's the crushed curry and the Old Olive. Okay, now there's that, and it's wet, and it's extremely wet. So I can bring my sample back in here, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it off to the side to dry. And through the magic of television, I have one already completed. Okay, so show you the rest of the components of our card. It's a Melon Mambo base, cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I've got 2 pieces of basic black that are 4 by 5 1/4. And then my white for the inside is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And this was 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay. So now I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Positioner.
I dropped something.
I've already got it mounted, my stamp mounted. So I just marked where I put the last one. And I'm just going to put my magnets on here to hold it in place. Okay. I've already mounted my stamp. I left it mounted from when I made my sample card. And I just need to ink this up. I am going to use StazOn. I just like the crisp blackness of it on watercolor paper. And I'm using the positioner because this is a kind of a bigger stamp. And that way, if we need to stamp it more than once to get really good coverage, it's going to be in the perfect spot. Okay. Oh, sorry, I can't help you find it right now. And then you're going to place this on here. And it just sets down. The stamp is not touching my paper until I press. And then I'm just going to press it. I'm going to hold it to get that really good coverage. And then release it. Now, it is sticking to the paper, which is fine. So I'm going to pull. Oh, it's really sticking. There we go. Okay. I'm going to put this back in place. Actually, I like how that looks, so I don't need to restamp it. But if you did need to restamp it, you just put it back in the same exact spot and you stamp again, and it'll stamp in the exact spot where you left it. So I'm just going to set this off to the side. I'll clean my stamps up really good when I'm done with you guys here today. Okay. So now I'm going to bring my StazOn ink back in, and I'm going to stamp the rest of my front of my card. I'm going to make this another birthday card. You could make this a Father's Day card. I think a guy would be okay. I would just change my base to like gray or white or something. Have a great birthday. I'm just going to hold it down here just a minute so it can soak into that watercolor paper. There we go. Have a great birthday. I'm going to bring in the seagull over here. And again, I'm just going to hold it down in place just for a second so it can soak into that thick water paper.
Why does everything just keep dropping?
I think after we do our live today, Kennedy and I are going to go to Walmart. We need a new umbrella for back by the pool chairs. All right, and then we'll bring in the little reeds. Oh, and she needs more Fruit Loops. Stamp these down here. So I do have scratch paper under me because I'm going off as I go down. Just that side. And that one. And then we'll go ahead and do the inside sentiment as well. So for the inside, I took "Today is your day." Thank you, Angie. Today is your day. And then I just put these little cattails or reeds or whatever. Put them down here in the corner. Just to carry over a little bit of the outside of our card to the inside, like that. So that's all the stamping that we have to do. So I'll go ahead and put my cover back on my ink pad and get it out of the way. And now we just have to assemble our card. So I'll take some Stamp and Seal. I'll just adhere this to the inside of the card. So when I watercolor, I usually watercolor one day and then I let them dry and then I finish the cards the following day. You can speed up the process a little bit by using your heat gun if you need to. All right, so there's the inside of our cards. Now for the outside, this watercolor paper is thicker, so I'm gonna go a little bit heavier on my adhesive. Go all the way around the edges. Just gives a tiny little border, 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and then I'll pop this layer onto the front with dimensionals. Oh, thank you, Rose. We've had some really pretty sunsets here recently in Florida, so I thought this was a perfect stamp set to use to watercolor. We're supposed to have a beautiful weekend here in Florida. Highs up in almost the 90s. We're almost reaching the 90s already.
Yeah, it's been so hot.
But we won't be taking the boat or the jet ski out this weekend. My husband and I have a celebration of life tomorrow to attend for one of his pilots at his work that passed away a couple months ago. So we've got that, and
And
then
on Sunday it is.
Sunday we've got church. It's the next gen Sunday, so it's all about the kids and students that serve, and Kennedy gets to take part in worship and go to sermon. All right, so I'm just going to center this on the front of the card. So, but with next weekend being Memorial Day here in the U.S., I'm sure we'll get plenty, probably a couple different boat days in that weekend. All right, so there is our card, and I'm just going to add some embellishments. Now these embellishments are the Sunset Sparkle sequins that are part of the Scenic Coast suite in the catalog, but I thought they worked well with this. So you have like a corally color, an orange like Timid Tiger, more of a clear, and these ones have some pink. So on my sample card I used the little pink ones. Maybe for this one, I think I'll go with the pink ones again. So again, if you would change this and make it a Father's Day card, I maybe wouldn't put the sequins on it, but you could. I mean, depending on who you're giving it to. I'm just going to kind of frame these around my sentiment like that. And just like that, that is our finished card. Wow, that was a quick live. It didn't even take me 20 minutes. Oops. So, I guess I had everything prepped really good, didn't I? So there's my sample that I did ahead of time. Here is the one we did today. And then you can see, I'll bring in the wet one. You can see how dark this is, and it does lighten up a little bit when it dries. That's why you want to put it on kind of heavy and dark, and that's why when I watercolor I use my re-inkers, because it's just makes it that much more vibrant. So put that off to the side, and then I'll show you guys a sample card that I did. Another sample. This one I made smaller so that I could get 2 out of each piece of watercolor paper instead of 1. and I put it on a smoky slate background. And then this sentiment is from that scenic coast, and it says, wherever this note finds you, I hope it finds you happy. So I thought that was a cute card too. I think anybody would like to get that in the mail. All right, so remember, our show special is a PDF tutorial with all projects that we're showing you today that we're making on our live videos or our recorded videos. And you can earn that by placing an order with the demonstrator that invited you to this group from now until the 24th of May. So I hope I gave you guys some inspiration. Maybe I helped you fall in love with this stamp set and bundle. And we've got several more presentations today. Sandra is up next at 12 p.m. Central Time from the United Kingdom. And so she will be coming live next at the top of the hour. And I hope you guys enjoyed my project. I hope you enjoy the rest of the presentations. I look at myself. And until we stamp again, I hope you guys have a great day and a great weekend. Bye.